This is the most recent footage you will see from me playing World of Tanks, because I actually tried to get the second mark on the 113 and we find ourselves a T-28 who was just willing to take it. And he took it like a man. But even the bestest, hardest man cannot take such a big pounding. He has to run away. Knowing that he is running away, and probably knowing that the rest of his enemy team has gone around the corner because there's no one from my team sitting there trying to defend, we go up the hill. The T-49 thinks he is hard enough, sits there trying to pump a high explosive shell into us, but I'm a 113, so I'll just take it. I even get a goodbye shot off onto him, and he dies because he drove out into the open for my tank destroyers camping there in the back. We go up further because that T-100 LT, maybe he is hard enough. Maybe he will find a way to defeat us. And I actually think that he has found a way to defeat us, because if we go over, we are out in the open for tank destroyers. A tank the size of a building just fired at me, yet I couldn't spot him. Wunderbar! Type 4 heavy with the best camo alive. So that means I'll just sit here being safe from artillery, because he's probably in his base. Let's shoot a T-32, because he was just not safe from artillery, because artillery has gone to A9. Well, you don't see that every day now, do you? So that means I'm not safe from artillery, but I'm still going to try and shoot that T-32, because I cannot spot the Type 4 heavy, or cannot see him anymore. The T-100 LT has he gone down? I don't know. Can't go. Oh, he hasn't gone down yet, but I'll go down to shoot the K91, and maybe... Oh. Okay, maybe someone will come and save me. I don't have the gun elevation to shoot the T-32. Maybe someone will make a mistake. Maybe I'll actually get help from my teammates. Maybe. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, this is not the start I wanted. This is not the start I wanted at all. But at least I can maybe still hope for my teammates coming to rescue. Oh. So, like I said, the most recent footage you will see from me from World of Tanks. Most likely, things have changed. It's been a few days since I actually started editing this, and I've decided that maybe I'll do like 2 more videos before the end of the year, which is very rapidly approaching, because if I don't do those 2 extra videos, there might just be 2 videos left this year on this channel. Both will be marking mission videos, and both will be on the same tank, because that is also a recording that's pretty much 3.5 hours long, and that is a long edit, and those will be long videos. But first, the Type 64 Tier 6 Chinese light tank. That looks a lot like the Chaffee, but it isn't the Chaffee. It looks kind of a lot like the Hellcat, but it isn't the Hellcat. And one thing that the Type 64 is it's not accurate. Those are a lot of missed shots on people coming into my base. And I want to defend my base. And I could have killed the Stuart Emile if my shots didn't miss. So now they get to have just a free ride into my base. And I am pretty much the only one defending. There's 4 tanks down there trying to fight a 45 TP. There's a WZ that thinks, he won't notice me coming. Well, he dies easily. Those 3 tanks down there that are not fighting the 45 TP, I don't know what they're doing. I would love for them to come back, but they're just not. So I'm going to have to be the one that has to reset that disgusting cap circle in my tiny Type 64. We've started, of course, on 81%, which is a decent place to start. Now, I have to say, that 113, that wasn't actually the last game that I played. I dropped all the way down to 79%. lower, even 78.8 something, I believe. And I decided that's something I'm going to try again on another day. And I tried, and I failed. And it was not really that special footage. It was surprisingly terrible games, actually, from my part in the 113. So I've decided to just get rid of that video. It wasn't worth editing, and it wasn't going to be a fun video anyway. Suddenly we get outflanked by an IS-3 though, literally out of nowhere. And that IS-3 is going to be the death of me. Because I cannot sit here and shoot people in base, because I will be spotted by the IS-3. So my best choice is to get around the IS-3, hopefully kill him with the FE, but for some reason the IS-3 actually wants to focus me. And he reloaded in time. So I die. The FE, however, will get the kill on the IS-3, which will somewhat redeem my action, but it just won't be enough to get the win. Because they die.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now.
If the fuel flows for too long before actually igniting, then the buildup of fuel can lead to something that rocket scientists euphemistically refer to as a hard start.
And a hard start it is indeed. Of course we were going to drop that percent in the mark. It was bound to happen. Well, not the full percent, but you get my drift. And straight away here on Fjords, I find myself in a terrible position. I can't really drive out, nor north or south, because people will shoot me and I've already lost health. And it's not really my plan to die with just, what is it, 96 damage done, 95, a very low amount anyway. I can't poke out too far because that Cheeto, I'm not sure if he's shooting at me or the Black Prince behind me. I'm just not really a fan of getting shot at. The Progetto a while later makes the decision to drive down. He gets tracked and he dies, luckily, because he was one of the people that was keeping me back, making sure that I couldn't do anything. We make our way up through the water into the middle and we shoot an ELC even 98. Tiny little tank that's even tinier than my tank, would you know. A little while later, I noticed there's going to be an LTG behind me that kills the Black Prince buddy I had, and I missed the first shot and I bounced the second shot, which makes sure that this is going to be a very difficult fight. I might be a tier lower and I might have less health, but I feel that I can still win this battle with the LTG. 3 shots in, he finally puts his first shot into me and I'm running away, making sure hopefully that he will miss me. RT helps me, but if I missed that shot, if I didn't miss that shot earlier, I would have killed him.
Deja vu, I just been in this place before. Higher on the street, and I know it's my time to
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
You are correct. That was the 3rd loss in a row. And I wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling the Type 64. But I felt that at one point, something was going to have to change, right? There was going to be a switch in the style and the matchmaking, and that was this game. This game, I am top tier, and you may have noticed that last game I switched to full premium, because what's the point in bouncing shots if I can just pen them while I still can, because Wargaming Fest changes to premium ammo were announced. We shot people in the middle, and then the middle was clear for me to move into the middle plateau. We shot a T-67, we have a shot on a Type 64. Behind us is nothing. So we just keep on moving onto the enemy base. We find ourselves a lone Panzer 38 and a stock Churchill. Now at this point, I'm actually thinking, what if I just, you know, maybe take just a few normal AP with me in cases of being a top tier? Because at this point, I am just wasting my credits with shots I would have penned with normal ammo anyway. We kill the Churchill and keep on moving through the enemy base to find ourselves the and he gets what he deserves. That's the first ammo wreck of this video. We keep driving because we want to kill the Hummel. Even though RT hasn't been shooting at me in this game at all, I haven't even taken damage. I feel that I want to kill the artillery for all the other times I've been shot at. First we make a stop to kill a Hetzer, and we keep on driving towards that set Hummel. We load our high explosive because it doesn't really matter if I loaded APCR or high explosive. It would have needed 2 shots to kill him anyway. But I might as well just fire the high explosive, do more damage than usual. Maybe get some crits off and save credits doing that. And that's the end of this game. And I just kind of feel that after this game, it was up to me to change my ammo loadout so I wasn't actually going to be a 100% gold spammer for the rest of this video.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around.
Everybody wants to smell like titty sprinkles.
I think it is quite terrifying to see how much the matchmaking can decide if you're going to have a good game or not. The first 3 games, I was bottom tier and I had severely mediocre games. And then when in Paris, I was top tier in my tier 6 against tier 4. I just felt so confident, even in such a lightly armored tank, that I was going to do well, that I just kind of threw caution in the wind and went for it. I cannot do that in a tier 8 battle. This is the first time I do to slow down. Oh, that dodge is so satisfying. Even when I played this, I was like, yes! By the way, 30 seconds later, I drive back into the bush and take lots of damage. And that second shot I took is the reason why. There is a AMX-12T somewhere in a bush that kept me spotted the entire time I was driving in circles. So that Oni had a delicious shot on me and he took advantage of it. I am glad he didn't pen it. Otherwise, that would have been a very quick end to my game. Because that flank faltered, it was time for me to be the asshole, snipe from the back, and pad my damage to get higher up in this mark. I was in damage control mode. I have no HP left to even remotely think of showing myself to the enemy. So I might as well just be the guy that sits in the back and collects damage. And with that, I am helping my team. Because the enemy team is losing HP, which means that we might actually survive the south. There's a lot of tanks there that we're pushing, and I did my part shooting at them. I wasn't the best, I admit. I maybe could have gone into the fight more, but I tried. It doesn't help as well that the shot flew so left, it hit the 45 TP instead of the FE, but I still kill him. It's not over yet though, because while I'm in the back here, there's a KV-2 coming towards me, and as much as I love setting him on fire and poking left and right and left and right, my luck was going to end rather sooner than later. We win this battle though. The Batchat 12T literally was a god and drove around and killed everyone that was left.
The premise of the game is you take one finger, put it in your mouth, the other one goes up your asshole. When he says go, you switch.
But even after a couple of good games, sometimes I make the mistake. I think I'm in a rather good position right now until the point where I get spotted. And then I noticed I am not going to survive this. And that's when I took a break.
No one would believe that Hillary Clinton ate my asshole.
3 hours later, I am back in the saddle, trying to get that second little star on my tiny little barrel in my little toy tank on Ruendberg. And it was a completely different experience. There's the second Amarak of this video. And I just felt good playing this tank now. It felt right. I knew exactly what to do. This is what I kind of wanted to have in that first session. The first session, by the way, was 40 minutes. For the people with the good eyes, they will notice that I still haven't changed my ammo loadout. I will, eventually. I will not be 100% gold spam anymore, just the most part of it. That's T150 eventually did get to cross, but we keep running into him and we keep pumping shots into him because, I don't know, he might be a tier 6 and we're in a tier 8 game, but I kinda just want him to die because he is rather well armored for a tier 6 heavy tank with a fantastic gun, if I say so myself. We put shots into him, he gets unspotted, we find him again. I don't even have an outline, but I still kill him because I am a magnificent lighting player and I'm really feeling well playing the Type 64 at the moment. We move on into their base, we find the artillery, we find a light tank camping in the back and the Scorpion G. The artillery and the Scorpion G I expected to find, not the VK2801. And this is where I just decide, you know what, I can take a shot from the Scorpion, that is fine, I'll just keep pumping shots into him. However, I don't want to be shot at by the VK at the same time as well, because where I might have been able to take a shot from the Scorpion, I cannot take a second shot at all from anyone. So, it was a good decision, maybe, but a bad one at the same time. I see the Scorpion G to my left wanting to poke and shoot me, so I move forward and kill the VK. I see the Scorpion just fired, and we just don't get the kill on him, but it was a fantastic first result. Yeah, never mind, we get TK'd by the artillery.
That's a huge bitch.
Now this is a map you don't usually see in these kinds of videos, because those videos, well, these kind of videos are usually for tier, well, actually tier 8 and above, sometimes tier 7, not a lot tier 6, but here it is, Wide Park. And the thing is about the Type 64 is the gun depression is quite good, which means that I can poke this, well, middle hill and shoot people while they have difficult shots onto me, but they will always try and get that shot off into me. The beauty about third person is that I can have a look where I'm shooting and have a wide angle of what's happening around me, which means that if someone wants to put a shot into me, except for that M4, like he was outside of that view range, if someone wants to put a shot into me or is aiming at me, I can see that. So we poke over and shoot the T-3485M. And while I have my auto aim in, second slow shot dodged of this video, while I have my auto aim on, I can poke over and just fire and look at other people. And I kept doing that this entire game because I could, and I kind of had to see what was exactly happening all over the place. That Stug actually puts 2 shots into me, but he dies trying to do it. This is the time where we can actually finally drive over and shoot the heavy tank number 6 in the butt, because the KV-1 might still be there, but I'm just gonna risk it for my proverbial Japanese biscuit. 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots. If you're wondering why I'm moving, it's so the KV-1 won't have an easy shot on me, and that's exactly the reason why I am moving. He fired, and we win this game so easy, so easy.
Ocean man, take me by the hand, lead me to the land that you understand.
Hey, would you like to play with my toys?
Are you getting tired of the Type 64 yet? Because I am not. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling finally at home in the Type 64. I've never had that in this tank. I've always kind of felt out of it. Either I was too aggressive and I died early because it has no armor, or I just don't do enough damage because the alpha is so low. But finally, trying to get this little second star on my elongated barrel, I felt good. I finally understood the tank. We only now put our second shot in because that little check tank just kind of sat there and waited. There was a bigger check tank there that we put a shot in as he was pulling back. Now here on Ensk, we're finally getting to push through the middle because my team is being super aggressive and the enemy team is being super docile, which means that we can be aggressive. And even on Ensk, this is not a good map for a light tank. It's many small corridors, it's not a lot of maneuver space. Light tanks need place to maneuver, so they are difficult targets to hit. But here on Ensk, because my team is so incredibly aggressive, I can flank without the enemy really noticing it. I don't know if this KV-1 has noticed that I've put 4 shots into a side now, but I don't really mind. It's free damage. Also, I have finally changed my ammo loadout. It happened. I can't remember when it happened, but it has happened. But yeah, here on Ensk, even on Ensk, I feel happy to be in my Type 64 because I get to move around. I get to play with the enemy. I get to play with my tank. Because no enemy team just sat huddled up in a small street waiting for me to poke, I could actually drive around and use the mobility to get around and shoot tanks in the butt. There's even 1 artillery that I can shoot at twice because no one else finally managed to kill him, and it's still not over because that T-67 at the top right of the minimap manages to defend himself and I have to track him down and kill him. I'll leave him on 1%, but he still dies.
Fill your nan with a lot of yum.
Strap yourself in, little Timmy, because we are going to go on a trip, and that trip will pretty much not start for a very long time because we're stuck in the middle of Fisherman's Hay. We see a T-28 prototype, and he has no problem sitting there with his frontal armor towards us because he knows that we will have trouble penning him. That Oni, on the other hand, has no clue what is going on, and it's easy shot into his side until he gets to the building. Sadly enough, one shot does manage to fly low and only hit his tracks, doing no damage at all. That KV2 knows what's up and seeks for cover behind those buildings. The Oni has moved up. We spotted him again, and I was begging him to pull back, and he does so, meaning that we cannot shoot him once, not twice, but 3 times, even though the 3rd time didn't pen. There is a ELC even 90, one of the most difficult tanks to hit, and I get lucky with that RNG by setting yet another tank on fire in this video. There's an M6 moving up into the middle, and he won't spot us until we fire, which means that we can get a sneaky shot off and we can pull back again into cover. The KV2 has moved up, and I'm just thinking, please poke? And he pokes, and we cannot shoot him once, not twice. Another slow high explosive shot dodged, but we can shoot him 3 times and 4, getting the kill on the KV2. What does the R stand for again? Warhammer? No. I don't know. But we have moved into the middle of the map, and that's where our journey starts, because that 12T is going in. We cannot let him do that on his own. We're here for damage, we're here to win, we are here to kill, and not get the kill on the Samoa SM. There's a Comet camping in the back, which is fine. I don't really want to deal with the Comet at the moment. I am more interested in winning this game and winning the town. You see the Oni over there? He saw me, and he didn't respond to me driving back to get a flanking shot off, so we kill him. We find ourselves the back of a 45 TP, and we kill him. And because this game was full of positive RNG for once, we find ourselves a tracked Comet. We shoot him in the side twice, 1 misses, 1 only tracks him, but we do eventually get the kill on him. And we find ourselves an IS still on very much full health here in town. The thing is, we're going to find his front. And remember when I said in Ensk that I can use the maneuverability of this tank? Just because we found his front doesn't mean we have to fight his front. I am fast, I am maneuverable. That WZ will tank the shots from the front while I drive around and put a load of lead in his butt. I'll give him lead poisoning that he will feel that in the next battle. And another tank on fire. That's 4 tanks this video, I believe, that we set on fire, and 3 really slow high explosive shells dodged. I feel good about myself. My team is telling that the Type 64 should get the last kill for, I believe, the Top Gun. And we get spotted here, which means that the T-25 is here, and I might actually die because if I lose this battle, you know what, he's AFK. Not that it matters, because another ammo rack.
Last month, the notorious paedophile Sidney Cook was blasted into space to spend the rest of his life aboard a one-man prison vessel, posing no further threat to children on Earth.
Glacier is technically one of the newer maps in this game. But that doesn't matter because we're still in our extremely overpowered Type 64 and another fire! That is, I believe, the 6th fire of this video, which is insane. That shouldn't happen, and that's why I felt good about the Type 64. Because so many fires, so many ammo racks, so many slow high explosive shells dodged. It just feels like... Oh, it technically wasn't a dodge, but it kind of did look cool seeing it fly over like that. I just felt like, for some reason, Water Tanks finally liked me for long enough that I could actually enjoy playing it. The RNG was good. Actually, the RNG was amazing. Maybe the matchmaking wasn't that fantastic. However, I am top tier here on this slippery, slidey Glacier map. The SU-100 found himself in a terrible position and he died. We poke over and put a shot into the T-37, which was annoying my teammates. We fire on the move, we don't care. Hit the Type 64 on the enemy team, I don't mind. A T-34-85M is sitting there perched up on top of that hill. We're flying premium, and as long as the shell doesn't hit the rocks behind him, means that we are hitting something, and that is the T-34-85M. But I don't want to do that the entire time because enemies are driving out into the open, and I'm thinking I might actually just use AP for that. I just have to give a lot of lead because these shells, they might be good, they are not fast. In actually, they're really slow. As much as I enjoy playing the Type 64 right now, my luck is going to run out. My luck will not last forever. I do eventually get spotted and I die. Sadly enough, my game is over and my team wasn't able to win this. We lose this game to Cap. Haha, look at that! The second star on my tank that I haven't played since then. And I won't. Yep.
In any case, the many uses of the cloaca did not escape the pearlfish, which has formed a symbiotic relationship with the sea cucumber. It hides inside the sea cucumber's butt, where it feeds and gains protection. The sea cucumber, meanwhile, has a fish in its butt. Win-win.